All right, guys, we'll get started in about 1 minute. 1 minute, we'll get started. All right, guys, here you go. So you know I'm a real person. Chuck with Traders War Room. Hey, we got the midweek sit rep. We're getting down to it, man. Had kind of a odd day in the market today. It was explosive, and then we had a little bit of sell-off going into the end of the market, and then some explosion at the end of it. And then, of course, got that big news with the SEC about the BTC. So that got everybody, talking about crypto and the future and everything like that. We're going to talk about that and more things today as we go through this. But this is basically going to be your midweek sit rep. We're going to look at trends. We're going to look at some big boy stocks, see some things, hopefully, to make some money going into the end of this week and stuff like that. And then at the end of the video, I got a few updates and stuff like that. So if you hang around with me, I'd appreciate it. Other than that, as always, if you're ready, follow me and let's go to war. I'm going to go ahead and take this off so you guys don't have to stare at my ugly mug the whole time. Focus on the stocks. But let's go ahead and get into it right now. You can always put the stuff in the chat group. Those of you that are on the Zoom, please go ahead. And those of you that are not TWR Premium Market Warriors, you guys are on the YouTube, go ahead and get into that chat as well. And we'll get the answers to your questions and everything like that. And you can always direct message me either any of the social media sites, or you can go to the text message for the TWR business and hit me up there as well. All right, let's get it. All right. So looking at the indexes, it's important to look at these indexes, right? We mainly focus on the Dow, the S&P, and the NASDAQ. Sometimes we look at the Russell, but these are the big ones, right? These are the ones that really generate and move and shake the e-commerce that we, run off of, as far as, the stuff that runs the day-to-day operations for the American economy. And so when we're talking about the Dow Jones, we're talking about those 30 big boy stocks, right? The ones that really, kind of put a lot of the money into the overall GDP of the economy. S&P 500, we're talking about some of the big boys, but a lot of times these are packed with a whole bunch of growth stocks. And then the NASDAQ, of course, the NASDAQ is usually tech heavy and a lot of speculative things, which is why we like this, because especially right now with tech being so hot, and we're not just talking about artificial intelligence, guys. Okay. I want you to keep that in your mind. But AI, there's a few players that are really far ahead of the pack, but I want you guys to start thinking about how can artificial intelligence and machine learning and this new technology go into other sectors. We're thinking healthcare. We're thinking biofarm. We're thinking biotech. We're thinking restaurants, like I read an article about White Castle thinking about switching their restaurants that they have, going strictly to AI restaurants where they'll have like a manager, maybe a customer service rep, and then the whole restaurant is going to be ran just by artificial intelligence. Okay, stuff like that, man. That's way of the future thinking forward. All right, so just keep that in mind. Over here, we're looking at our sector indexes. Of course, these are the heat maps. We can focus on these. we don't really focus on them too much in this video because you guys have access to all this. But the big thing is when we're looking at the market caps, all right, we notice that example for Apple, right? Apple is covering a huge market cap compared to its competitors here, Sony, Dell, and stuff like that. So what that tells us is basically if Apple, it was green today, right? But say Apple started going red. Well, this sector my even though these are all green down here, if Apple goes seriously red, this entire sector might, waver a little bit because it holds so much of a market cap in this sector. Same thing with Amazon, Costco. These things are the big boys compared to their competitors over here and stuff like that. And that's just things you need to understand about how sectors work, and especially when we're looking at rotations in sectors as well. As things move out of oil, they move into somewhere else. Okay. As things move out of tech, they move somewhere else. Money is always flowing in and out of different things. I like to focus also on the global. I trade global currencies as well. So I focus on what's happening over in Asia a lot of the times, what's happening in the UK and stuff like that. And I like to look at the Forex market because I trade Forex all the time. And if you guys aren't into Forex, you guys need to start getting educated on this, okay? Because the currencies are hot right now, all right? Currencies are, there's a lot of money to be made in the currencies, and you can almost trade these like all day. All right. They're similar to like the futures where they have different hours than the normal equities that we're used to. Okay. So the Forex market, I need you guys to start looking into that. We have all sorts of Forex alerts on the Traders War Room platform. So if you're interested in Forex or you want more information, definitely hit the links in the description of this video. Get spun up with the TWR, become a market warrior, and come over there and trade some Forex with us, man. We'd love to have you. All right, so let's look at some trends. All right, so we got the top gainers. We're looking at some of these. A lot of times when these top gainers, you're going to see a bunch of penny stocks and stuff like that. And that's okay because the penny stocks are really, stuff that's moving and shaking. We love to play the penny stock market. We like when the penny stocks are booming because that gives us an idea of the nature of the beast of the bullish market, the greed versus the sentiment of the market. Essentially, when a penny stock market starts to really push up, that means people are really starting to go back into some speculative trades. All right, when a penny market starts to waver a little bit and you only see select penny stocks moving on catalyst events and stuff like that, then you start to get into that fear a little more so than greed. So it can kind of be a gauge for your overall sentiment. Of course, these are after hours. Let's go ahead and go into regular market hours on a 1 day. And we just want to look to see what kind of ran because this will give us a good understanding of maybe some things to watch for tomorrow. Of course, if we're penny stocks, paying attention, we're watching these as well. These definitely had some good change. Anything that's start hitting over 15-20% in the penny stock market starts to get, big money institution type of eyebrows raising. Okay. Because the idea is if it can hold and the news and the catalyst of the event that's pushing it is good, then it could be possible, continuation of a run. If it's just popping on some volume and there's really no news, no catalyst, no reason for it to go, then usually you'll see the spike and then you'll see the drop as well. But looking over this, not really seeing much that interests me too much. Check out some of the losers over here. Going in after hours. Starting at the top. This is just part of the thing. This one's been on our radar for a while. B-cell. It's been a former runner, so pay attention to this. This thing doesn't like to move too much, but when you catch this one, this can easily go from a 20 to a 40, easy. And that'd be a 2x. You hop in at 20 cents a share, buy yourself 1,000, 2,000 shares, ride this up, 30 cents, trim out, go up to 40, come all out, and then rinse and repeat on this on some news and volume, 77% after hours. So we'll watch this tomorrow for continuation. RAC 15. It's a little more pricey when we're looking at the penny stock market. Not really focusing on that too much. MRT. Got it. All right, let's look at the actives. All right, so we're looking at active over here. Mara. Mara was huge today, and it makes sense. Mara, of course, is going to be big moving because, the crypto world and stuff like that. I'm surprised not to see Riot up here competing with Mara, but, hey, definitely some names are better than others, right? That's just the nature of the beast. You got Kit. had some huge volume. I'm surprised this one didn't pop up on my radar. Maybe I wasn't paying attention so much. I didn't pay attention to this one today. And I'm surprised I didn't catch this. Tesla, of course, got huge volume on that. Nikola, guys, I'm telling you, watch this one right here. All right. With the new structure, um, this company is got a bad rap because of the previous ownership, and the guy was just a snake, right? But they got a new ownership, they got a new, leadership in there, pretty much, scrubbed the whole deck with leadership and everything. They got a whole new mission, a whole new goal set. So just watch this one. If they can come out with some sort of guidance towards forward progress on their plan, I think that this can definitely hit back over to $1. I wouldn't be surprised if this can get some steam and we could see maybe $4 or $5 by the end of the year. So just keep that on your radar. I would gamble and go ahead and take shares on this one. I think that's an okay bet at this point on this one. I think it would do okay. And GOV, I'm not getting. There we go. And this popped a little bit. Okay. We've been watching this one for a while. We got this one in a penny stock portfolio for 2024 on the Discord server. This is one of our main positions right here. We're looking for the 2x on this one. So we're going to pay attention to this one as well. I think we got in on this one at about 19 cents or 20 cents. So, every little penny counts. So we'll see what this one can do tomorrow as we navigate into it. Let's go into ETFs. So ETFs, a lot of these ETFs, man, I know what you guys are saying, man. ETFs, man, I only pay attention to the VOO, the SPY, the Q, the IWM. If it's not one of those, I don't really care. But there's a whole bunch of ETFs that are out here. One of my guys on the server, Stockmaster D and RYLD, they do a good job they have kind of like a pseudo podcast inside of the server on the Discord. And what they do is they talk about dividend stocks and they talk about ETFs and stuff like that. So definitely paying attention to these. We'll look at the market overall. Biggest one was the TQ, right? Everyone loves to trade the TQ because it's weighted, right? SPXL, all right? People love that one as well. A lot of the people like these weighted ones because you get a little bit more bang for your buck. Q is up there. Q was hot, man. We went ahead and went long Q today in the server. We got some high hopes, hoping that we get a little bit of a push. What we're looking for is we're looking for a retest of this previous area here and hoping to get the breakout. That's what we're looking for on these indexes. Okay, when you're looking at the Nasdaq here, right? Specifically, we're looking for that bounce from here, right? We already broke the plane. We're looking for the break and bullish continuation as we climb on up. That's what we're looking for. And we'd like to hit this. Probably will get some resistance in this area. All right. But then if we can keep hold and earnings start to come in pretty strong, then we get the break and we're looking at 415 as a target for the break right now. So just keep that food for thought right there. Dow Jones, DIA is really the one that we pay attention to on this one. SDOW as well. NASDAQ, the Q, VIX. People like to play the inverse. Russell, of course, the IWM is the popular one here with the Russell. People like also to play the futures on this one, IWM. But IWM, I want you guys to be cautious with the IWM. It was hot, hot, hot. Okay. So the likelihood of the IWM holding like the bull pressure to the upside, it's I mean, it can happen, but it's due for a cool down. I mean, it was extremely hot. But then again, you hear some analysts say it was oversold. So, who knows? We just play the trend and watch it. But I just want you guys to be ready for the switch if it ends up happening that way. And then of course the S&P. You guys already know the SPY. That's the main one that we'd be trading, the SPY and the VOO on the S&P. We can also play the SPX as well. That's another one that plays off of the that's like the index that you can play. But the SPY and the VOO are the popular ones to play for as far as the ETFs and stuff like that. Coming into calendars, earnings, really not much going on for earnings. We're really paying attention. We're waiting pretty much for Friday. Friday starts the earnings season with the banks. That's when we're going to start getting into the earnings season. We got some big earnings coming. And so that's really what the big focus is on. We got some news coming up tomorrow. We got some CPI and PPI and stuff like that. Some data that's coming in. So we got a lot of people waiting on some data, see how the economy is doing. But then, like I said, Friday starts the beginnings of earnings season, and we always start with the banks. So we'll see how the banks have performed. JPM is has a lot of people with high expectations, but they're expecting a pullback on that one. Bank of America, Wells Fargo, they're looking to potentially beat expectations as well. And let's go ahead and get into a screener. Uh, let's go ahead and see what we got. Under a dollar stocks. If you guys watched my video yesterday, we have more now. So we had some new entries into here that got into the criteria, right? Again, we're paying attention to these four right here. Those would be the four that we pay attention. We're looking for bullish continuation. When I play the pennies, I like to play the pennies to the upside. Okay, I won't short pennies. It's not really worth it. But we're watching these right here. Those are the ones. One, two, three, four. This is my penny port scan. This is what I use when I'm looking for penny ports to potentially get into plays. It's I just added some criteria and stuff like that. See what we got the bear pennant. Hey, look, yesterday we had Starbucks. So Starbucks is out of that bear pennant thing. We got Billy still sucking. All right, still sucking, guys. Bull pennant. We got four in there. Bank of America again. When we talked about that last night, Bank of America, it actually was red on the day. Interesting. MetLife was green. We talked about that yesterday as well. Got an addition of Lynn here. Sparkline. See what we got on the 30-minute. Lynn looks good. Look at that. Got a nice rise, not too steep. And then we starting to get some zones looking for a potential breakout on Lynn. So Lynn could be potential to start kind of watching. I'd go ahead and put if we were doing Lynn, I'd go ahead and put some triggers on this. I wouldn't play it just straight. You know, you don't want to do that with this one. But I put a trigger about 155.50 maybe. If we started breaking the 155.25 area, stuff like that, I'd start thinking about going long on Lynn for a swing trade as well. Pushing out, you know, you want to go give yourself a couple weeks. If we start breaking below these levels here, we're probably looking for the short play. So looking at 150, 150 for the breakdown below. So little triggers on that one. But yeah, that one should be put one of those in your trade thing. Bear flag, nothing really. Bull flag. Now we're starting to get some. All right, what we got here? Duke still, Peloton. We're shares long on Peloton. Crown Castle still, MQ. Not a lot of names there. Las Vegas Sands. We like Las Vegas Sands for shares long. Not so much playing the option game on this one, unless you're going leaps. But we like shares long on LVS and MGM, by the way. But Duke, we like Duke as well. We got Duke pricing them breaking over 100 with a price target of 105. So keep a watch on Duke for that push to 105. It's looking really good. When you look at Duke, let's go out. I mean, this is consistency. Loving it, right? Loving it. All it needs, and typically when you get your breaks, right? Your break will be approximately the push and range. And what do I mean by that? Well, you got this 95 area here, right? You got this 99 area here. So you got about a $5 range from top to bottom. So when you break, you'll get about that same push approximately within a dollar range, so maybe six, maybe four, but a push to the upside that'd put us at about 105 target on Duke. That's where we get those targets from, off of the breakout out of this particular cup that we have going on here. So that's why we're looking at 105 there. Bear head and shoulders, looking like we got some names coming in. But what's funny is you got, of course, the bearish head and shoulders, but you got all these names that are bullish, you know. We're looking at this on a day chart. Let's actually go into, can I move this to the 4 hour chart? No, going to the 1 hour chart. And I can see the case for this. You know, I can definitely see the case on why, you know, looking at the double top here, looking for the resistance, rejection, and pushing back down. So I can see the case there. Looking at this one, same thing here, but you know, all these things like this onion, this has been notorious for people who've been betting against this for a long time, man. And every time people start betting against it, it surprises, you know. So I wouldn't be surprised if onion, you know, hits this level here and breaks and goes starts heading to 30, you know, coming out with, you know, some decent, you know, some sort of catalyst news coming out here soon, you know. So just don't judge a book by its cover. PACB, this will be interesting to see how they do. If you guys remember this, this was a biotech company that Kathy Woods was really huge on. With biotech starting to get hot again, this could be something potentially to look into going shares long on this one. When you look at this, you notice it's been skirting the bottom a little bit. So it's been holding this range here between the 14 and the 5. So, you know, it looks like a pretty decent entry point. If you think potentially we got some push coming. I need to do a little research on it, see what kind of catalyst they have coming up, but it does look like we're skirting down at the bottom and it potentially could have an entry point for positions long if you believe in this particular company over the next year. So you know, shares long could be appropriate. We just have to see what kind of news and catalyst they have available. What's in their pipeline, basically. That's what we're looking for. Abiv, we like this one. Abiv is a great one to trade. It's pretty consistent with the sideways. I mean, look at it. When you're looking at Abiv, you know you're going to hit threes, right? And you know you're going to go back towards twos. So anytime with Abiv, we know that this is probably we want to go long probably towards about 3, giving ourselves some time. And then once we hit about that area, we'll probably reject it and come back down. I mean, unless we get some sort of crazy news with this thing is a sideways moving workhorse, as you can see right here. So this is pretty consistent type of trade. So I'd be going long right now up towards the 3s, and then we'd be looking for a rejection and probably go short down to the lower 2s and then staying in that range. Anything like around 225, you want to probably go ahead and buy up some shares. And then you can definitely pop those off as you get close to the 3 and then rinse and repeat on that one until we figure out what we're going to do, whether we're going to tank or jump. So, toast. Let's talk about toast. We've been in toast for a little bit. It got some huge upgrades by some big time names. They're looking at this one particularly, saying that this is fundamentally a sound stock. You know, still unprofitable, but they have a path towards profitability, and that's what's really important about this. So this one is interesting. At this particular price, can you get a better entry? Yeah, you know, it was 13 not too long ago. But this would not be, you know, right here you can see it was on in November's 13, right? But this is not a bad place to go ahead and start nibbling in a position. I wouldn't go full port, you know, if you're depending on what you try to get your port sizes out. You know, I always tell people, you know, when you're starting out, you want to range for, you know, 100 shares, you know, of something. And then once you hit 100 shares, you want to go for 500 shares, especially if you believe in that stock, you like that stock. And then once you get to 5, you want to try to reach to 1,000 of the stocks that you truly want to have forever. I don't know if Toast is a forever type of stock, but if it comes out swinging, you know, it'd be a good opportunity. So I'm a big believer. I think nibbling in on this, sure. I'm a big proponent on it. If you want to do options on it, I think that'd be okay. You want to give yourself some time. Leaps. I think it'd be safe to go ahead and look for the double up on leaps. So you're looking at, you know, 30 to 40 on your contract on this. Premiums probably aren't that juiced, and you probably can make some decent money, especially if you get some wind underneath its sails. And by the looks of it, it has some support from some analysts that are catching it because it's starting to make that move. Got the skirt from down here, got the pop, a little bit of sell off. Pop here, we're looking for a potential break, and analysts got this targeting inside of that $20 to $25 range. So definitely keep this on your radar. I'll be looking to trade on this one. Wayfair, I don't know about Wayfair, man. I was a fan on Wayfair, but Wayfair was really a terrible stock. It's been a terrible stock for a minute. But it's skirting at the bottom. It could be definitely a case for potential entry. You're going to see this a lot of times, and one of the points being when we're looking at stocks, right? Okay, you're going to see a lot of things that look beat up because they have been. Look at this. I mean, this was this was a 300 $400 stock back in 2021, and then it just crashed. Okay, had some of that scandal and stuff like that too, and it just crashed and hit the bottom. This is where you should have bought. And, if you were going to do Wayfair, this is where you should have bought. But we've been in this range for a minute, so this is due. It is due. It could easily be $100 stock, with the right management, with the right momentum. They need to meet expectations on earnings. That's the big thing. They need to meet expectations on earnings. So we paying attention to this one and looking for a potential trade on this one as well. Adobe, we like Adobe. Adobe's a beast, guys. You can't say not to go long on Adobe. I mean, it's right here, and you can go out the money on Adobe. You could go, Adobe is one of those that it's just a beast. Okay, I mean, there's no ifs, ands, and buts around it. When we look at the chart, I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Looking like it wants to knock on the door at 600 again. I think we have enough juice right now with Adobe and especially with the forward catalyst that it has to go ahead and surpass that. And we can start looking at 610. So I'd be going long on Adobe. This is a high probability trade right here. Yes, could it cool down and sink? Yeah, but it's not going to stay down for long. Adobe's one of those that people may be taking some bread off the table, but it's definitely going to make it back. So, I'm long Adobe for sure. All right. Let's go to Target. Let's go ahead and move on to a different one. Let's go on Bowl Head and Shoulders. Look at that one. Snap. We like Snap. Guys, I'm a big I I'm a big fan on Snap. Snap is probably my second biggest holding, guys. I've been buying shares for a long time. All right, for a long time, for years. I'm buying Snap shares. And I've been buying Snap back when it was like $50 stock. And then it dumped and I was buying more shares and it dumped and I was buying more and I just was like, you know what? I believe in the company. And it's one of those things like the augmented reality that Snap offers makes more sense to me than the virtual reality that is trying to be forced to be popular, if that makes sense. Okay, and here's what I mean by that. So virtual reality sounds cool, right? But in order for virtual reality to work, you have to submerge yourself completely into that virtual world, and then you have to, in order to monetize it on a big scale, you have to gain the buy-in from, millions of people in order to make that work, right? Well, I think there's not that many people that want to wear a headset or, submerge themselves completely into a video game, their and run their entire life. Yeah, there's a few people, but I think at the deep down level, people generally, whether you like people or not, but you want interaction with real human beings, okay? And stuff like that. That's where the augmented reality comes in because the filters and stuff that you can use with the machines and the technology and stuff can give you that sense of the fun play augmented reality while you're still grounded in actual real world reality. And that makes sense to me. I think there's a way to monetize it, and they're doing the smart things by just staying quiet, staying low key, working on the tech, making it perfect, and just, eventually they're going to come out and they're going to be like, hey, we here, knocking on the door, and let us in. And Snap's just going to go to the moon. So that's my opinion, of course. Don't take it as financial advice. This is education and entertainment only. There's the little blurb that you got to say, but that's what I think about that. Shop is another one. Oh, I like Shop, man. We've been long Shop for a minute. Oh, Shop's been killing it. Look at this. I still like Shop to the upside. I think 85. I think 85 if Shop can hold. I like Shop's chart right here. This is beautiful. We got the breakout here. I would not be surprised if we cool down, but I think we got a little bit more juice left in the tank for Shop. I think we can do it, man. I think we can do it. 85. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, you know, shop long 85, push out to February. I think you'll be able to make some money on it as long as we stay bullish in the market, man. As long as we stay bullish in the market. What was that? Um, I just saw it. Sorry. Where am I at? Just looking, just looking. PayPal. All right. All right, guys. I'm gonna call it now, man. PayPal has been garbage lately. PayPal has been garbage, but we're skirting. We're skirting and we're looking potentially. Well, what we want to do is we want to go ahead and put ourselves a level. I got a level at 65. I'm playing PayPal as we trend. You can make a little money here, a little money there, and stuff like that. I bought a crap ton of shares down here when it was 50. I went in, I spent a lot of money on PayPal. PayPal has been my nemesis. I said, you know what? I'm gonna turn my nemesis into my treasure, and we're gonna look for this one. So PayPal, I went ahead and bought a whole bunch of shares at 50 at the 50. We're gonna see what happens in 2024. See if maybe we can double that. But right now, I like the potential. We just needed to hit some levels. And what I want to happen is I want PayPal to hit 65 and hold that level, and then we can start looking for that gap fill over here, right? And we got a significant one all the way to the 70s, and then we can start knocking on the doors of start reaching those previous highs. Okay. They still got some issues with management. They still got some issues with, the way they're doing things, but they got a lot of things going on, a lot of things in the pipeline, and they still got an extremely large net of the market share as far as this fintech and this payment stuff is going on. So I am long PayPal. Just you got to be patient with PayPal, man. I would not be playing options on PayPal. It'll hurt your feelings. I'd be going shares, because you don't lose money on shares until you sell. So that's a good assessment there. Gold, Gold's been okay. Gold's been kind of rangy right now. We're on another upswing, basically. I think we got another potential crack at 20s. Gold likes to trade with the bonds and the yield. So when you start to see the bonds and the yield rise, gold likes to rise. When you start to see the equities rise hard, gold typically dips. So just pay attention to that. You can probably find a little bit on gold, and we can get a nice little push up to 20 on some gold. All right, let's look at one more. Let's look at one more. I like inside bars. Let's look at the inside bar. See what we got on the inside bars. And then we'll go ahead and do some charting on these ones. Actually, let's go ahead and pull this one up. All right. Team. Let's go ahead and pull up. We got the 4-hour chart here. Okay. 4-hour chart's fine. Team, not interested. Dutch Bros. I like it. Dutch Bros looking kind of bearish on Dutch Bros here. The potential for long is there, of course, but we got some bullish or some bearish tendencies. We need to be able to breach. So let's go ahead and chart this one out and start building our levels. We got our volume profile over here. We do have some volume that's sustained up to the upside. So this does help us in our decision factor. So if we're gonna say the case and go ahead and say, Dutch boys long, right? We need to have triggers in order to give ourselves the idea of what we're gonna trade, right? So we're gonna go ahead and look for the trend line. I like to look at the history, right? And what I'm doing is I'm looking over here and I'm looking here, and I'm going to go ahead and put a line on some meat and potatoes, right? And where does that line up here? So it lines up pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and look for this and just make some adjustments based off of this line here. And actually, I kind of like it here. Got a little wick to the upside, but we got some space here. Remember, these aren't going to move much until they move. All right. They're going to kind of nickel and dime until they actually get some wind underneath their sails, and then they're going to pop. Got a lot of room to the upside that we kind of dropped here. So once we start breaching that, I think a good price, yeah, 29.85. I like that. Break a 29.85 on a 15-minute chart. We start to go long, and we look for the push towards 30 and 31. All right, let's go ahead and look for the short one. Again, we're coming off over here. We're not even focusing over here first. We're focusing over here first, looking at the history, and then we'll start to drag this one in. So we got some other price action closer. We can go ahead and bring it up a little bit, right? And I like that full candlesticks. We got some wick with candlesticks and we got some dojis and stuff like that. So 28.95, we start to break 28.95 on the 15-minute chart to the downside. We're looking for the push, and most likely we're going to push into our levels that are already defined by our algorithm here. You know, it's probably the push to 28, maybe even a little bit more. So there's some triggers for Dutch Bros. That'll be one that we're going to go ahead and put on. Let's go ahead and create a watch list. Um, I need to create a watch list, don't I? Yeah. What's today's date? Tomorrow's the 11th. Watch. All right. Let's go ahead and get on here. All right. And so we're going to go ahead and put this one on that list. Boom. All right. There it is. Let's go ahead and look. Spotify. We got an inside bar on Spotify. We like that. So let's go ahead and trade that one. Put a trigger. Spotify. Pretty straightforward right here with the triggers on Spotify. There you go. Right there. Those are our triggers for Spotify. We trigger off of that 15 minutes. We're looking for the long play. Trigger down off of that. That's 195.75. That's 197.89. 196.96 is where we're at. So we're going to go ahead and trade that one. Spotify's a good one to trade, guys. Um, it's not as juiced with premium, and it moves pretty steadily. And the chart would suggest that we got the leg to the upside, consolidation, leg to the upside, consolidation, little pullback. And so it looks like we got the push and probably another retest for another leg up. So I do like this one for continuation. Honda Motors. Hmm. Interesting. I don't know anything about this. Um, oh, okay. Could see a little bit of push in here. Put this one on your radar. Honda Motors. We won't look to trade this one. This one might be one that we'd look to go ahead and get shares. If the news is good. Honda Motors looking like they got some decent catalysts in the EV sector. Yeah, we could definitely see the case for it. I mean, strong breakout, right? Let's go out a little bit. Got some room to go. Got some room to go from the breakout. So if we break out, definitely we could easily see a dollar, $2 push to the upside. Yeah, so not a bad one. I like it. So keep that one on your radar. That could be a slow mover, a good trade to go ahead and get some skin in the game. And and it's rivaling Tesla, which is always good, because you'd want to have when you got that competition spark some enthusiasm and some interest and stuff like that, especially when one is struggling and one isn't. So yeah, go ahead and we'll go ahead and look at this one. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the list. We won't look for like a trade. This one will be more of just in case. All right, I'm going to put that one in there. Dropbox. We talked about that one. Guys who watched my video the other day, man. We talked about Dropbox. We said it was going to push to the upside, man, and it did just that. Okay, those of you that followed the bouncy ball and rode that one for that dollar push to the upside, congratulations, guys. Dropbox, we got shares long on Dropbox, so we do like the ANET. ANET is a good one to trade as well. It doesn't move well, I say it doesn't move a lot. It does move a lot, but it doesn't move percentage wise. It doesn't move a lot, but the moves it makes moves like a boss on the low. Okay, you could go in there, big boy contract, get yourself something like. Well, let's look, see what we got. We're looking at calls. All right, get yourself the 250 call, right? All right. 200, got the volume, delta, theta ratio, about right on top, right? But this thing, likes to move. Just look how it moves just in the day. 248 to 251, $3 move, right? So I mean, you could definitely see the case. A little bit of pullback here from this bullish movement up here. We can hold, and it held well. I mean, it didn't significantly drop. That's tight. That's tight price action at the bottom. I wouldn't be surprised if we get the break to the upside. We could always get the breakdown. Yes, you don't like to see the wicks because that's signaling potential buyer's exhaustion. The sub indicators would indicate potential cooling as we got almost a MACD cross. We're also elevated on our RSI, and the TTM squeeze isn't really doing anything for us there. But definitely, we're paying attention to it. Um, if we could hold this level, and that's tight price action, that's tight, right? We can hold this 1, 2, 3, and get the push up. That could be a decent play up to 255. Yeah, be a good one, and not too much. Abiv looking like it wants to break out. Nice pattern here, breaking out. For Abiv, we probably got 170 inbound coming. Look at that, 165. Oh man, that's that's lovely right there. This would be the one you want to look at right here. 165, push out a little bit, right? Look for the volume. 165, 105. Yeah, right there, man. And look at that delta to theta ratio. You got almost like 3 to 1 ratio over there. It's beautiful. This is the one right here. This is what you'd want to do. 19 Jan, 165 call if you believe that you got some more upward pressure. And this is the one you'd want to go into. So put that on your radar for tomorrow. 165 call, 19 January, ticker sign ABBV. All right. I'm gonna add that to the list. I'm gonna trade that tomorrow. That's happening. I may not alert it, but I'm gonna trade it in my personal account. That's happening. Um, This one, DEO, we've traded this before. This one when it starts to sell off, it usually sells off to the bottom. So this one's probably we lost our 50 here. We're struggling to maintain it. We're starting to lose our closer EMAs. We're probably headed back down towards the downside. I wouldn't be surprised if we see 140. So if you want to look for a short candidate, DEO is a short candidate. I believe this is a like a liquor company, like a tequila or something. Yeah, drinks, like a spirits and beverage alcohol thing. Yeah, so yeah, so when it does fall, and it's typical TA pattern, right? You had your wedge up here, it failed, and now you're just getting your legs down. You got kind of a poor consolidation. You got your one leg down, a little consolidation and rangy, right? And you got your another leg to the downside. Almost a sideways H formation happened. We just need that other leg to go here. That's what we're waiting on. KBR, people were talking about KBR today. They said it technically on the chart looked really good for a potential breakout, watching for the move towards 60. So you could see the breakout here, 55, where it's at currently 54, pushing up, breakout, and then they're saying there's not much stopping this on its way to 60. So KBR might be a good one. MasterCard skyrocketed today. Wow. Now, want you to pay attention to this, okay? I don't want you to go chasing. I don't want you to go chasing. Cup, nice cup, right? Deep cup, okay? Handle like this. I don't think so, man. We might get a little bit more push to the upside, maybe, but we're gonna cool down sooner than later, okay? And the handle's gonna start forming like this. All right. The handle's gonna start coming out like this. All right. It's not gonna go like this or like that, okay? It's going to start forming like this. So I don't want you to get overzealous and start, coming in deep and being like, man, to the moon, 500. It's not going to move like that, okay? We already had to move. We should have done it here. All right. We should have did the move here. All right. That was the move. We missed it. All right. Now we're looking for the trade. We play off the pullback. Okay. We don't chase it. We can day trade this, okay, off the 1 minute and the 5 minute chart. Yeah, absolutely. But we're not looking for the swing trade until we start to establish that handle and we find support where we start to reject the cool down, and then we can start playing the break to the upside off of that. Okay. So just keep that in mind. All right. I do like MasterCard, but we have to play this one smart because this one's already broken out significantly. There's only so much juice you can squeeze on these particular tickers. Okay. Hasbro looking pretty decent. It had a previous consolidation zone. We're starting to push back up towards that retest area. Hasbro probably will get some push. I like Hasbro for the break here. I think we can make a run for 52 on this one. Get a nice little $2 push. I think Hasbro is a decent one to go ahead and trade long. You probably can do some leaps on this one. Go out to about 55, push out to 2025, 2026. Let's actually look at it. While we're here, why not? See if we got any volume. Ooh, there's hardly any volume. Yeah, people don't believe in it about puts. No, they don't believe in that either. About 2025. Oh, okay. Yeah, something. Got a little bit more. 55. No volume. Where's the volume at? You know it's here. You know it's here. Where's the volume at? There it is. 50. 92. There's the volume on this one. Sort of kind of widespread a little bit, but that's it. The $50. I'm surprised, but of course it needs to break that premium price. Yeah, that makes sense. Where we at? 21 June. Oh, there it is. Look, there it is. 60, 150. There's your volume. So everyone's going with the 60. 21 June, 150 right there. Not bad. So this is a good one. We're gonna go and put that one on the radar as well. That's the one everyone's looking at, which you don't want to fight the trend. You know what I mean? Like that's why you want to go with these. Why would we hop in on this one that has four, you know, and make it hard for us to escape out of our trade, right? We want to go ahead and kind of go in where there's volume so that we can slip in and out, like, slip a jab, like Mickey was telling Rocky, right? Got to be able to slip the jab in and out, boom, so that Apollo don't come and knock our block off. You know what I mean? If you understand that reference, then you and I can be friends. All right. SE. Let's talk about SE, man. Hurt my feelings the other day, but we're looking good. SE, we're gonna go ahead and put triggers on this one. Hurt my feelings the other day, man. I was looking for SE to break out here, and it failed me. Okay, we're coming back up. We're looking for it again, so we're gonna go ahead and put the trigger, but it's not gonna fail me. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, right? So I'm not gonna get fooled again. We're gonna break this on a 15-minute chart, then we're gonna look for the push to the upside. Okay. If we don't, if we reject, I'm gonna look for the cool down towards this line. And if we break this line, I'm gonna look for the rejection. So we're gonna go ahead and add that. There we go. All right. What else we got? What else we got? Nokia buy shares. Nokia buy shares. Dude, they got a lot of patents. They got a lot of patents out there, man. Nokia got a lot of things. They got a lot of things that I've I've done my research, man. I've read some things, man. We're talking like they got things in the works for the Internet of Things. 6G, 7G, stuff like that. Okay. Nokia, no one, if you're my age, you remember the old Nokia phone, that brick phone that was indestructible that you could play Snake on, right? Nokia, they've been hiding out in the shadows, chilling, just chilling, but they're just waiting for their time to come back out and be relevant again. Okay. So just buy shares. and enjoy. And Rivian sucking. Rivian sucking. I think we got another leg to the downside, guys. I'd be shorting Rivian. We lost our moving averages. We're having trouble holding them. I think maybe we get a little pop on some sort of like, just overall sentiment push, and then we reject again. I think we go down to 17s. In fact, I'm gonna go and put a line here. We'll talk about this one again. I'm gonna put a line here, right? I'm gonna color that red. And you remember we said this, you Chuck Fu says Rivian to 18 by, let's go ahead and, we got to have smart goals, right? So we got to put a timestamp on it. Let's go ahead and give ourselves what date? By the 15th. Let's go ahead and say this is a fun thing. By the 15th, all right? So we're going to come back to this chart, okay? This is our test. So Riv RIVN to 18 by 15 Jan. If not, I'll draw member by random, and they get a $50 gift card. All right. You guys see it there? It's there now. Actually, give myself just a little bit more time. Because 15th is what? How many trading days is that? The 12th. And then the weekend, 15th. I'm gonna give myself until the 16th, guys. All right. All right, the 16th. Oops. That gives me fair. That's 5 trading days, okay? Just be fair. It's 5 trading days, all right? Give myself that. If it don't get there, right? If it don't get there, I'm gonna be a man of my word and I'll do it live. $50 gift card to a random person who's a TWR market warrior, right? We got that here. You guys seen it. It's posted. It's done. Done deal. Rivian the 18, baby. Pulling it. FCX, we're failing down below 40. We're going to fail this right here. We're going to fail. We're going to reject. We're going to come down to 40. I wouldn't be surprised if we get into the 30s. All right. So short FCX. And Chewy. We're short Chewy, guys. We short we just shorted Chewy, man. We just shorted Chewy. They had some terrible news. They were already struggling, man. They came out of this consolidation zone here, sucking. We're starting to consolidate a little bit, a little pop, and then they had some of this scandal coming out, man. So we're short Chewy. I think Chewy. I think we can see 18 on Chewy. Yeah. I think we can come back down to this area on this news. I mean, it's going to be damaging news. So I'm short Chewy right now. And anytime you see this type of pattern going on, right? See this crap. All right. There you go. Anytime you see this type of crap, especially where you got this, right? You got these broadening, and then you got this tight stuff, and then you have negative catalyst news. You should be thinking short to the downside as well. All right. So we already got this news here. Boom. Consolidation out of it, broadening, getting tight, decision point to the downside, in my opinion. All right. I think that's it for tonight, guys. All right, guys. Bore you enough. I want to just share a few things with you. That's the end of the video. So if all you wanted to was just to kind of see some videos and get some stocks and stuff like that, man, you're good to go. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. I'll see you when that bell rings tomorrow, and we'll go out there and make some money like we always do. All right. So peace. Other than that, if you're ready to go ahead and check out a few things, I want to show you something, man. We just got this Discord landing page, dude, which is pretty cool. Hey, hang on, I got my baby Willow Hazel. Hey, hey, stop it! Come on, what you guys doing? Stop it! Yeah, my baby Hazel. She's like, she's feisty, man. Anyways, check out this landing page, man. Google or Discord hooking it up, guys. So I'm gonna show you this real quick. One moment. Dun dun dun. Discord hooking it up. Look at this. Make sure I'm sharing this. All right. Yeah. Okay. Good. So Discord, they have this in beta, okay, and it's a landing page for them. So we're on there now. All right, I'm gonna be pushing this out. I'm gonna have the link in the description. But yeah, I was playing around with this, and I like it, man. I need to fix the picture here a little bit. I don't like that picture. I like this one, but I don't like this one. But yeah, has everything landing page for the websites and stuff, categories that we're doing in, the things that kind of explain what we're doing, and you get to like talk a little bit and stuff, and it has all your stuff that you can join directly right from there. So this is a fantastic opportunity, and what's cool about it is I can embed this into my own website, because remember, we got the Traders War Room website right here, right? We got the Traders War Room website. I can now go ahead and go into the trading platforms, right? And I can embed that website into this one. So when I go here, it's there already, which is great. The API application is fantastic. So that's what I'm looking forward to on that one. And so I just want to share that with you. We're happy about that one as well. Don't forget, if you go to the website, check some of the stuff out, man. Check out our classes. Listen, look at the historical classes that we have. I mean, we have something for everyone. We have so much stuff. People ask me this all the time, like, where do I find all this stuff? Man, we put everything on the website. I mean, these are all the historical classes. It goes back. I mean, back in time, we got them all that you can just check out the historical classes and look in previous classes. You know, got tons of training. We've been doing training for like 3 years. Okay. So we have tons of training that just date back, and you can load these all up and you can look at them right on the website and view them right there. All you got to do is log on, become a TWR, market warrior on the website, and hook it up, man. Other than that, that's all I got for you guys. Appreciate you joining me, coming along for the ride. I look forward to seeing you guys when that market bell rings. And as always, it's ready. Follow me and let's go to war. Man, my face got really big. I'll catch you guys in that market bell rings. Let's go out there and make some money.